I was popping y'all. It's Primary Trout. I'm gonna turn on the volume a little bit. It's Primary Trout. I'm gonna bring y'all my explanation for my Diddy matchup chart. This is like long overdue, but screw it. I don't have a schedule. I don't have an upload schedule. I just upload. Okay. I'm gonna start off with explaining the plus twos and then the plus ones and then the evens and then the losing matchups. All this right here is stuff like Echoes. Kazuya is not. He hasn't been out long enough. Like he's been out for a while, but I haven't played this matchup at all. Like I will always go Mario when I fight Kaz, just because I think Mario already wins. And then I don't care about Mii's. I just don't care about Mii's. So let's start with the winning matchups. Donkey Kong. The video is already going to be long, so I'm going to like go in depth for all of the matchups. Basically, it's the same matchup as 4, except Donkey Kong's a lot worse, and Diddy Kong is still good. In neutral, he just kind of loses out to Diddy's frame data and hitboxes. Stuff like forward air, back air, banana, down tilt, monkey flip. Really good at just keeping DK from getting in on you. It's really hard for Donkey Kong to find grabs in the matchup just because of how nimble Diddy Kong is and just how good he can just throw stuff out. Diddy Kong's back air is -2, which means, it's not, you can't grab it. So that's another thing. He can kind of just press buttons on DK like that. DK will never let, like a good Diddy will never let DK touch the ground as well, which is kind of just a thing in a lot of DK's matchups. And then DK can't get off ledge. Like if I'm just holding banana at ledge, he can't get off ledge. 9 times out of 10, he will just get knocked right back off stage. And then Angel Drop is kind of free on DK. One of the most exploitable recoveries in the game. We're going to move on to Falcon now. Kind of similar story to DK in the sense that a lot of his approach options just kind of lose to forward air. Forward air is such a good just swatting option of just getting niggas off of you if they're approaching. He can armor through it with side B, or he can just use his dash attack burst option, but both of those are like reactable. And if Diddy just plays passive, he can just wait on the other side of the stage and Falcon can't really do anything. Similar case in that, and DK and the fact that Falcon is just combo food, He's a heavy fast faller, which means he's going to get hit by a lot of custom combos. And Diddy Kong has a lot of combo routes. And he also struggles a lot against Banana because none of Falcon's moves are safe on shield. Diddy can actually Banana out of shield everything Falcon does, except for like Raptor Boost, Aerial Raptor Boost, because it like does that slide thing. So I think it's plus actually. And then of course Falcon can't get off ledge, and then also is very susceptible to edge guards. Stuff like Angel dropping. You can still tech check Falcon with Diddy even after the buffs to Falcon's up B, just because of how quickly Diddy's back air comes out. And yeah. Another thing is just Diddy's hurt box makes it really hard for Falcon to find falling near ones in neutral. And the fact that Diddy is always going to be moving around, he's never going to be sitting in one spot, is also just going to make it extremely hard. Falcon has to get a hard read on his position to find a near one. And it's just safer for him to go for downers anyways. And, Diddy being small, he's going to fall out of a lot of combos. Like, he's not going to get juggled forever by up air. He has monkey flip as well to mix up landings, as well as pop gun cancels, wave bounces, and a bunch of stuff. Corrin, a lot of the sword characters are going to be like kind of basic explanations, but that's just because like the matchups are really simple. Corrin has a projectile, but it's bad. It's really reactable. And basically the reason Diddy is going to beat most, if not all swords, is because he doesn't have to play their game. The reason swords are so strong is because they can control a certain amount of space with a disjointed move. But because Diddy can just play outside of that range and whiff punish with banana and monkey flip, he kind of just doesn't care about swords. And then Corrin, just being one of the worst sword characters in the game, just exploits that massively. He's also very susceptible to angel drop edge guards. And like I said, her only real option of getting around Diddy's neutral is her projectile, and her projectile is bad. It is very bad. Ganon, same thing as DK. He's just too slow. He's extremely slow. He can't keep up with Diddy. He can't approach Diddy. More often than not, Ganon's not going to be winning neutral. He's going to be getting most of his hits if the Diddy messes up or overextends an advantage, or just throws out something unsafe in neutral, like a monkey flip kick on shield or something. He's not landing. He's combo food. He gets edge guarded until the cows come home. He's not getting off ledge ever. It's even worse than DK, because DK at times can still get off ledge. Ganon's not getting off ledge. It has no approach options. Wizard Kick is reactable. Flame Choke is reactable. It's not a good time. Ensign has some stuff in the matchup, like Revenging Banana and Pop Gun. Oh, I didn't even bring up Popgun for the past matchups. That's something else that just bodies DK and Falcon and Ganon in terms of just zoning. Even though you can break it, it's non-transparent. You just kind of touch it and it loses to every attack in the game. But still, like it catches them moving around or dashing in, since you can't immediately shield out of dash in this game. Then there's who was I talking about? I was talking about Ensign. Okay, so Ensign, right? Again, same issue as Ganon. His run speed is way too slow on the ground. He's combo food. He can't land. He can't get up. Well, actually, he has some ledge mix-ups. He's actually harder for Diddy to edge guard with angel drops, but he's still easy to edge guard in general. Can't really chase Diddy around if he's doing like aerial double jump, aerial monkey flip across the stage. He has to try and call it out with an up air, which even then Diddy can avoid. Also loses out to Fair, has nothing for back air on shield, has nothing for banana block strings on shield, and then gets ledge chopped. Jigglypuff, I'm gonna be real, I've never actually played this matchup, but just from the ways that I've heard people talk about the counterplay to Jigglypuff, I feel like Diddy can execute that game plan extremely effectively. The way I've been told by other Puff players, not other Puff players, I don't play Puff, but the way I've been told by Puff players to beat Puff is to just swat her out of the air. And we've talked about how good Diddy's forward air is in terms of it can just hit people away for trying to jump at him. And because Puff is an extremely aerial fighter, she's just going to get swatted away by forward air. She tries grounded to push, she's going to get monkey flipped or bananaed. She's not going to get edge guarded as easily, and she probably has options off of ledge, but in terms of neutral, I don't really see her getting in that much. Kirby, same issue. Kind of just doesn't, except he has worse airspeed than Jigglypuff, so that exacerbates the issue of dealing with forward air even more. Sure, he's small, he can try and like clear the grounded game and crouch around, but then he just gets hit by down tilt. He can't crouch under banana unless it's the aerial toss. He can't crouch under monkey flip either. So that's just out of the equation. And Diddy started using like landing Nair as a combo starter, and Nair's -5 on shield, so it's not getting punished either. The only thing Kirby really has in the matchup is edge guarding, because I feel like he can kind of slaughter Diddy off stage if he plays correctly. But other than that, he can't land. Down B is exploitable. Neutral is exploitable. Marth is just worse Lucina. I don't think that ever needs to be argued or explained. People will say that he's not, but he is. Same issue that we talked about. Same issue that we talked about before with swords, in the sense that Diddy can just wait outside of Marth's maximum possible range and just whiff punish with banana and monkey flip, and he kind of just keeps him on ledge for free. Only thing Marth really has in the matchup is when he gets Diddy on ledge, because he can kind of call out dump side B from ledge. That's about it. PT, I've actually heard a lot of PT mains said that they don't like the Diddy matchup, and I can kind of see it. I think the only character of the three that doesn't lose straight up is Squirtle, and that's just because he's also small and very nimble, but Squirtle can't get off ledge. And then Diddy's forward tilt is such a long-lasting move, and it's really good for ledge trapping and two-framing, and then it actually two-frames Squirtle really easily. All three characters get angel drops for free, Squirtle, Ivy, and Zard, so that's edge guarding. Squirtle is fast, but not fast enough to catch monkey flip camping. Ivysaur has zoning options, but he only has one, which is Razor Leaf, of which Diddy can just play the aerial game and jump over and punish with aerial monkey flip kick. Zard is, as you talked about, a big body, so he struggles to land versus Diddy's oppressive advantage state. He gets bullied off stage and on the ledge, and then has no approaching options. Little Mac is Little Mac. I don't really think I should have to explain this one. It's literally the same matchup as 4. He has the ground speed to try and keep up with Diddy, but he just doesn't have the air game to deal with stuff like forward air and back air and banana camping. And then it just gets slaughtered off stage and on ledge. Piranha Plant, I can honestly see a case for this being even, but just, again, frame data is such a huge issue when fighting Diddy. You want to have good frame data. You want to have good buttons. And Piranha Plant doesn't have the buttons to deal with moves like down tilt, forward air, banana, etc. It's juggled for free, stays on ledge for free. The only thing he has in the matchup is zoning, because Diddy does not like zoners. But even then, his zoning is like very limited. Roy and Crom, I'm going to loop them in for one explanation because they're echoes and their game plan is kind of similar against Diddy. Same reasoning as all the other sword characters. Again, Diddy just dances outside of their range. But these two get exceptionally edge guarded by Diddy. Angel drops, edge guards in general with falling fair, F tilt 2 frames. Diddy's nimbleness, especially against Roy. Diddy's hurt box comes into play a lot because he's going to be getting a lot of sour spots. The only way Roy's really going to be getting oppressive damage on Diddy is if he finds a grab and just gets him in a juggling state off of like down throw up air combos, and that's about it. Diddy can ignore their like the most oppressive trait of Crom and Roy is their ledge trapping, of which Diddy can just ignore with drop down monkey flip or double jump monkey flip or drop down banana pull. And then both of them struggle on ledge against banana, even though they have pretty quick ledge rolls. Ledge roll is reactable, and their airspeed is really bad. Like I know that's kind of a wild take, but once Croy commits to an aerial, or not an aerial, but commits to a direction in the air, like if they jump at you, they're committed to that direction. They can't get away unless they jump back, and then that's their double jump gone. So they get swatted away by Fair really easily. They get anti-aired really easily. Byleth is pretty much the same matchup as Corrin. She has a projectile to kind of get around that, oh, I can just run away game, but her projectile is extremely reactable. Diddy can crouch under it, or I can just jump to a platform. This matchup will never be played on FD because Diddy is always going to ban it, and when it's Diddy's turn to pick a stage, he's just not going to pick FD. So the game's never going to be played on FD. There are always going to be platforms present for him to escape to whenever Byleth does want to use her arrow. She gets edge guarded, ledge trapped, and then out neutral, the same as swords do. Mewtwo's hurt. I honestly think this matchup would be even if Mewtwo's tail was not a hurt box. Like I know that's very drastic, but he has the tools in terms of Shadow Ball and confusion reflecting banana. But just his hurt box, he's too big. He gets hit by way too much stuff. He can get monkey flipped from behind. He can slip on banana from his tail just hovering over it. He gets caught by down tilt trying to dash back. He gets anti-aired by Fair. He gets comboed forever. He can't get off. I mean, he has a teleport, so he can probably get off ledge, but he still gets comboed really easily. Now let's move on to the plus ones now. Bayo, this matchup was even in 4, but she's been significantly nerfed. She can't touch Diddy in this game because of his hurt box. In Smash 4, her grab, her up throw actually had combos, and her down tilt was an actual poke tail. In this game, both moves are trash and are not good. So those were her 2 most effective ways of hitting Diddy. As well as if she got a lead, which was not hard to do in Smash 4, she could just run away and Diddy could not catch her. Diddy can catch her in this game, though, and it's harder for her to get a lead. Bowser, kind of the same as DK and Ensign, except he actually has ground speed, and he actually has buttons, as well as an up B out of shield that's frame 6, which means he's still not punishing back air or nair, but he can punish Fair, and he can punish us trying to just get in and overcommit. He has Fire Breath, which is really annoying. It can stuff out all of our approaches in neutral unless we do like double jump over and then Falling Dare, which can start combos, or Falling Nair, which can also start combos. And then once we do that, he kind of just gets put in disadvantage forever. He can't get off ledge. He can't recover. But he does have more options than the aforementioned heavies. Cloud, same principle as the swords, except he has... he actually gets bodied off stage. But his sword is a little bit longer. He does have Blade Beam, which isn't an awful projectile. And he can kind of juggle Diddy. He can react to monkey flips at a disadvantage because his up air is huge. And if he has limit, that just increases his mobility. Doc does not have the mobility to keep up with Diddy Kong's camping at all. He gets swatted out of the air. He gets edge guarded. He has cape for banana, but his cape is like significantly slower than Mario's. So it's not as easy to just pull it out. And there was one more thing I wanted to talk about with Doc. I think it was monkey flip as well. He doesn't like the only thing he really has to contest monkey flip is back air, and his back air is frame 6, which isn't bad. But like if Diddy just plays passively, then he should be fine. Daisy, this is a hot take for me. I'm sure a lot of people will probably say that this matchup's even, but not Diddy favor. But no, I definitely think that it's Daisy's favor. Not what the heck, Diddy's favor. Because he plays that aerial game so well with just forward air alone, swatting people away. They can float over banana and not have to worry about it, but that's like a non-factor. When if they do that, they're just reactable with Fair. Their fastest move to contest Diddy is Nair, but Fair is going to outrange it. They kind of have an option to get off ledge, which is why it's only +1 instead of like +2. I just think neutral is very Diddy favored, but everywhere else they don't really struggle off stage or on ledge like other characters do. Falco can honestly make the case for even if he had an actual neutral game, but Falco's neutral is kind of just laser camp, which Diddy can crawl under, and then fish for up tilts, and he doesn't scoop up Diddy. Well, he can, but like it's very inconsistent because the programmers forgot to complete the game, and you can fall out, especially small characters like Diddy. Diddy also is just harder to combo because of his small self, so he's not really going to be getting hit with those cutscenes that Falco has, and then Falco just gets bodied off stage. Greninja is also an interesting case in the sense that he can zone us out with Shurikens, but it's the same argument as Byleth. This matchup's never going to be played on FD because Diddy's always going to ban it, and when it's his turn to pick a stage, he's never going to pick FD if he's smart. Which means he can just platform camp against Shurikens and then use the aerial momentum to come down with a Nair, Fair, Banana, or a Monkey Flip. His out of shield options are very quick, which means he can up smash because up smash is frame 5 if Greninja wants to dash attack or down tilt his shield. He's very small, and Greninja's hitboxes are very precise. So moves like forward air, which he has to time and space perfectly, are going to be much harder to do against a crouching Diddy Kong. And then he can get swatted out of the air with stuff like forward air. Ice Climbers just can't approach Diddy Kong. The way you beat them is you separate them and you don't interact with them. Diddy does not have to interact with them. He can trip one up with Banana and just swat the other away with forward air or down tilt, and then he can go back to playing the runaway game on platforms. Same FD argument. He's going to ban it and he's not going to pick it. The pits are just bad sword characters. Arrows are reactable. Their neutral gets swatted away by forward air. They have ledge options though, and they do have options for Banana with the reflector. I forget what it's called, but it's really strong in that matchup for dealing with Banana. So it's only +1, but they still kind of struggle playing the air-to-air game. Ike, sword character, struggles dealing with Diddy's zoning, Monkey Flip, Banana, Fair, small hurt box, gets edge guarded, gets ledge trapped. Same deal. He's also like one of the easier swords to combo just because of how heavy he is. Joker, Omega, really good Georgia Joker. Actually thinks this matchup is even. I can definitely see the argument for it, but I just think that again, Diddy's hurt box is problematic. Joker's safest aerial being back air is -5, which means it's punished by Diddy's up smash out of shield, even if he spaces it because of the scoop hitbox. The one thing he does have in this matchup, however, is zoning with like guns and airhop, which can kind of keep Diddy at bay and neutral. And then when Diddy's recovering with like only barrels, if he does gun down, I do get shot out of my barrels and I won't be able to make it back. But it's just in terms of winning neutral against Diddy to get him off stage in the first place is difficult for Joker. He does have options for landing with with his down gun, but when he's on ledge, he can't just get up and Rebels guard the Banana unless not even if he has Arsene. And then both Arsene and non-Arsene Joker just get angel dropped off stage. They get hit by the long-lasting hitbox of forward air. They get 2-framed by F-tilt. K-Roll, same argument as the other heavies, except he actually has zoning tools with Crown and Cannonball. So Diddy doesn't really like zoners that aren't Rob. So he has that option there, but once he gets touched, he loses. He just loses. Lucario can also be even just because like Diddy can sometimes struggle to kill, which means he's getting a lot of aura. But Lucario also has really good frame data on shield. However, again, it's the aerial game of where Diddy's forward air can just do a really good job of swatting him away. He keeps Lucario on ledge. He can react to Lucario's aura sphere as well by jumping over it and monkey flipping. He's also really small, so it's really hard for Lucario to get hits that aren't grabs or aura spheres. DDD, another heavy that has zoning tools in the form of Gordo, except Gordo can be swatted away by forward air as well. Combo food. Has options for off stage. He's not going to get edge guarded as hard. He's also not going to get ledge trapped as hard. So it's only +1. Luigi is never going to grab a good Diddy Kong. Same FD argument. He's going to ban it every time. He's not going to take Luigi to FD if it's his turn to pick. He can run away. He can banana. He can pop gun. He can monkey flip. However, Luigi can kind of ledge trap Diddy as well with down tilts, fairs, and zairs, as well as zone with Fireball if he gets a lead, which is really annoying for Diddy to deal with. Rob, big body, who does have zoning tools, but his neutral consists of stuff like down tilt, which after 3 down tilts, he can be up smashed by Diddy. His Nair, really reactable and can be swatted away by up air and fair if spaced correctly. If Diddy does like a dash back and then run in fair, he's going to trade, but at least he's getting Rob off of him. Rob also just can't get off ledge versus Diddy Kong. And Diddy Kong can get off ledge versus Rob, even if Rob has gyro out. But Rob can't get past banana edge guards. Rob also just gets comboed forever. And he does avoid edge guards, though. And he does have zoning tools. And he does have boxing options with down tilt and gyro. So that does allow it to only be +1 Diddy. Lucina is the same argument as Marth, except she's actually viable. So, she's not going to be getting as destroyed. She has actual tools. When she does hit Diddy, it's going to be more rewarding than Marth because Marth's hitboxes that aren't tip are pathetic. Ness, does have some disjoints, so he's not going to be immediately anti-aired by fair. But in terms of edge guarding, a lot of Nesses are going to be trying to recover with that air dodge to avoid trying to have to go low with up B. But because Diddy's F tilt is so active, he can just cover that for free. And then once they're forced to recover low with up B, they get caught by down air, monkey flip spike, banana snipes, you name it. Also, because of how floaty and light Ness is, he just also has trouble landing versus Diddy Kong. Sheik, having really precise hitboxes, is also going to have a really hard time hitting a campy Diddy Kong if Diddy just plays extremely lame and runs away. Can't really deal with back air on shield, but she does have good frame data and she does have zoning with needles as well as edge guarding with the grenade, which can mess up Diddy as well. So it's only +1 Diddy favor. Palu really likes to play the air game, but she can kind of lose out to forward air. She has a really bad ground game, and she's gonna have a hard time getting nairs on Diddy Kong if Diddy Kong isn't just mindlessly jumping, which he shouldn't be in this matchup. He should be playing grounded and only be going for jumping when he's trying to swat her away with fair if he knows it's safe to do so. She does have zoning tools in the form of auto reticle and explosive flight, and she's not going to be as easy to edge guard. You can still F tilt her up B, but when she's on ledge, she can just teleport to a platform and not have to deal with banana ledge traps. ZSS kind of the same deal. Struggles to hit Diddy in neutral and can get swatted away easily, but also ignores his edge guarding and ledge trapping attempts, as well as having options like side B, Zair, and Paralyzer to zone him out in neutral. Shulk, same example as the sword characters, except his Monado art to give him an edge in the matchup because shield art is going to make it so that it's really hard for him to be killed by Diddy, who already kind of struggles to kill if he doesn't have banana. Speed art makes it easier for him to close the gap and not worry about that sword versus Diddy problem. And jump art makes it easy for him to stall out if he has a lead and then get another art, as well as ignoring angel drop edge guards, as well as smash art allowing him to get really early kills when he has Diddy on the ledge, because Diddy does struggle against Shulk on the ledge. Wario also has a hard time hitting Diddy because of how small he is. It gets swatted away in the air by forward air. Has options to get around banana with bite. You can actually bite banana on reaction and deal with it. But Wario is also combo food. Bite is really big in the matchup, though. When he has Chomp, he can just kind of deal with banana. He can catch monkey flip out of the air, and he has up tilt as well, which can catch aerial approaches even after the nerfs. So it only keeps it +1. Sephiroth, same example as the swords, but he does have DLC wing, which kind of brings it back because he can kill Diddy super early, as well as get really good edge guards. And the snap move, what's it called? Shadow Flare. Shadow Flare is a really good neutral tool for keeping Diddy out and just kind of stuffing him out. Banjo's an interesting one. I feel like no, this is even. Diddy does not win. It's even. I'm not gonna explain the even matchups because what am I gonna say? I don't know what I would say. Yeah, losing matchups. I think it's just going to comprise of zoners plus Mario plus Snake. And that's because zoners can punish Diddy for plucking banana at a distance. They don't have to worry about him running away with monkey flip because they aren't going to be approaching him anyways. They're just going to be throwing stuff. Diddy can't really approach much of them. He's going to get stuffed out by Mega Man's pellets. He's going to get stuffed out by stuff like Boomerang. He can't touch Sonic. He can't touch Snake. He gets beaten out in anti-airs by Wolf. He can't just do that strategy of swatting away with forward air. He has to deal with Wolf straight up, which is bad because Wolf has the better frame data. He's going to have a hard time hitting Villager because of Villager's zoning. He's going to have a hard time hitting all three of the links because of boomerangs and arrows. Duck Hunt just runs away from the attack. If Duck Hunt gets Diddy's banana, he's never giving it back. He never has to give it back ever for any reason unless he dies. Which is going to be hard to do when you don't have banana and you can't find early kills with Nair Dare or Down Throw Dare. Which lining those up against a character like Duck Hunt who's going to be running away for most of the game and not putting himself in positions to get hit by either of those moves close enough to the ledge is going to be really difficult. Robin, another case where they can kind of just take banana and never have to give it back. Villager can pocket it, so he doesn't even have to do Z-drop aerials. He can just take it, which means he can still grab. He can still do normals on the ground. And, Samuses, they can play like a Wi-Fi Samus offline and beat Diddy just by spamming charge shot because it's so hard for him to get around that and then getting anti-aired with forward air. Mario is not a zoner, but he does have the tools to beat Diddy in the air-to-air game with stuff like back air and nair and down air. His back air is -2, which means Diddy has nothing to do, nothing out of shield that can punish it. And Mario has a frame 3 up B, which means he's not going to be punishing back air, but he's going to be punishing nair. And, he's going to be able to cape Banana on reaction. He can zone us out with Fireballs and Flood, and he edge guards us super hard. Pac-Man just sits behind Hydrant and pauses neutral and doesn't have to interact for any reason whatsoever because Pac-Man is poorly designed. Sonic is poorly designed. If he takes Banana, he's never giving it back. He's going to run away and spin dash for the rest of the game. He's going to time us out every single time. Snake, another example where he can kind of just take Banana, except not as much because when he plucks a grenade, he drops Banana because the game isn't designed to have characters animated to hold two projectiles at once, which means Snake is always going to drop. He does this with Gyro too and bombs from the links. If he grabs something, he's going to drop it if he has to pluck a grenade, which is really unfortunate for him. But he can still zone out Diddy. He doesn't get edge guarded at all because they're just going to go high every time. And even if they don't go high, they don't get angel drop because Banana doesn't break Cypher, even though Downer does. But Downer's not going to combo into it. Not going to be comboed into by Banana because Banana's not going to have any hits done when he's in Cypher. He has options such as dash attack, which can burst, and up tilt, which kind of swats us out of the air if we try to come in with a nair or a forward air. I've already talked about Wolf being us in the anti-air game and having stuff like Laser to contest us. So that was my really softly put together, but kind of explained Diddy matchup chart. I'll probably try and do these a little bit more professionally in the future. But I just kind of wanted to run through this kind of quickly and just give my quick thoughts on Diddy Kong as a character. I still think he's top 15 in the game, and I still think he has a very relevant place in the meta. Because, look at the characters he beats. Characters like Croy and PT, Cloud, Bowser, Joker, ZSS, Shulk, Wario, Sephiroth, Rob, Lucina, Palu, Greninja, Daisy, Peach. All really strong options, as well as going even with the Rats, Fox, and Pyramithra, as well as Shotos and Steve, and Min Min. He has a really good place in the meta. He's a solid secondary or just kind of pick character to use, especially since this meta is slowly dissolving into DLC 2, which is narrowed down to Pyramithra and Sephiroth mostly, which Diddy does well against both, and then sword characters in general. And then the characters that do well versus them also lose to Diddy. Diddy doing good against Joker, which is DLC 1, but still kind of relevant. ZSS is still relevant. Palu, I haven't seen Palu in a while, but that doesn't mean she's not good. She's still a good character. She just hasn't been used in a while. So yeah, Diddy Kong, Monkey. This is going to be vastly different from Tweaks and Player Ones because they have very interesting opinions on Diddy. They're more experienced than I am, obviously, and they're better players than me. So they probably have more informed decisions. But it is a known fact that top players can be wrong. They're not always right. Their words are not gospel. But neither are mine. I can be wrong too. What I'm saying is not absolute truth. This is just my perspective. So yeah.